A new chapter in the maritime history of Liverpool has begun, 4 years behind schedule. And is it now possible for me to cycle all the way from Liverpool to the Isle of Man? I share this image of the Liverpool Docks I captured when I was 3 years old. We check out the progress of Patagonia Place on Prince's Dock, as well as the futuristic new city quarter next to the Bramley Moore Stadium. And what's this strange language? It's not Welsh, it's not Scouse, and it's definitely not Manc. 13th of August 2021, just near the Kingsway Tunnel ventilation shaft, my first visit to a new road named Jessie Hartley Way, after the man who designed the Albert Dock and ran the docks in the mid-19th century. New shiny display boards confidently proclaim Central Docks coming soon, an exciting residential, business, entertainment and leisure district at Liverpool waters. There's a visualisation, wow, it looks impressive, and there's the old Isle of Man terminal with the vehicle bridge down to the floating jetty. Further up is the new terminal. The design looks a bit sketchy here, and what are those 4 blocks behind it next to the dock? These boards are from 3 years ago. So how do things stand today on Sunday, the 30th of June 2024? Let's see how work on Central Docks is progressing. It's an empty site. Still ripe for development. It's been ripe for development for a long time now. That's the 6-sided Dockers Clock or Victoria Tower in the distance. That is set to be renovated. And there's the new Everton Stadium. At least that's moving ahead. Slowly. It's now scheduled to open in 2025. That's the new extension to the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. And actually a park is planned for the area along here to be called Central Park. I hope to ride around it eventually, so keep watching Aiden Eyewitness. And on Monday the 15th of July, just as I was doing the final edit on this video, news came through that a cash injection of £55 million towards the development of Central Docks has been pledged by Homes England. The money will pay for the necessary infrastructure work, and that should set the regeneration in motion. New Chancellor Rachel Reeves hinted that stimulus to unlock the site, which she described as stalled, was imminent. Source: The Daily Briefing from Place Northwest. Now back to the video. Those buildings are Quay Central and the taller building, Park Central, both residential. Developer Romal Capital. I saw a 1-bedroom flat for £800 per month. Great views from the upper floors. Up until recently, Jessie Hartley Way was closed at the canal bridge, but now I can cycle over into a new riverside district. What do we call it? My suggestion: the Isle of Man Ferry Quarter. It's great to see the river from new angles. It's quite a bit wider up here. No ships passing at the moment. Landmarks on the other side of the river, Wallasey Town Hall and the other Kingsway Tunnel ventilation shaft, matching the one on this side. But what's that building under construction on the left? Let's cycle down and see. It's a new apartment building, also by Romal Capital. Let's look at the original design, the one we saw on the visualization earlier. 4 apartment blocks side by side, standing on a filled-in section of the dock. That was the original proposal. There were objections, and a new plan was approved with smaller buildings, and that's what's under construction here. It has arches said to be inspired by the Albert Dock. And are those real bricks? Looks like it. A great place to look out over the river at sunset, and very convenient if you often travel to and from the Isle of Man. Yes, sitting by the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. What's the name of the singer of that song? Watching the ships roll in. Then I watch them roll away again. There's another cargo ship leaving the docks by the giant red cranes. I could sit and watch the view all day. But who are those guys on motorbikes? They've just disembarked from the Isle of Man ferry. We'll ride down on my human-powered bike towards the entrance to the terminal. The name of this road is Triskelion Way. That sounds Welsh, but actually it's from ancient Greek, and it means a triple motif, of which the 3 legs of man symbol is one example. For me, it's incredible to ride along here for the first time. Now passing the vehicle check-in, and there it is, the brand new Isle of Man ferry terminal. Kione inid pakad vrivanin in the Manx language, and there, beneath the Manx 3-leg symbol, a welcome message in Manx. Falch Eriu, welcome to you. Manx is a sister language of Irish and Scots Gaelic, and it's being revived. And there's the newly opened walkway on top of the now sealed up dock entrance. We'll take a closer look later. And the singer of those lyrics? Otis Redding. Now I'd like to go back in time again to see how the site looked a few years ago. That's Prince's Half-Tide Dock, once a busy dock full of cargo ships handling all kinds of goods. Today, the warehouse on the right contains apartments. To the right of it, of similar size but modern in design, waterside apartments. I photographed the steel framework of the ferry terminal under construction in 2022, as it gradually began to take on its final form and character. Architects are the Mansa practice. It was built by John Sisk & Son, operated by the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company. Initial projected cost £30 million, final cost £70.6 million. It opened 4 years later than originally planned. Information from Place Northwest, link below. The site for the project was bought by the Isle of Man government on long-term leasehold for just over 230 years. So it's kind of like a little bit of Isle of Man territory next to Liverpool. And so that's how you can cycle from Liverpool to the Isle of Man. The wall on the right was built in front of the old lock gates. I travelled in and out of those lock gates many times. At dusk, the area takes on a lot of atmosphere. The new terminal looks inviting with the interior lights shining through its floor-to-ceiling windows, though at this point it was another year before it would open. And it was in this dock that in past decades the B+I ferryport was located, and as I've mentioned previously on this channel, the new Isle of Man terminal bears a remarkable similarity to the old B+I terminal, a two-storey structure with glass exterior walls and rounded corners. I departed from and arrived back here many times while travelling to and from my university, Trinity College in Dublin. There's the Stena-line ferry on its way to Belfast. There's my photo of the Connacht arriving in Dublin. It was always exciting to feel the rumble of the ship's engines turning over as the lights on the quayside starting to move away and the vessel slipped its berth, heading for the lock gates and out into the River Mersey. Here's my earliest memory of the Liverpool Docks. As a small child, with my parents, travelling for the first time on the ferry to Dublin, I was captivated by a string of lighted portholes reflected in the water. I've recreated what I saw in Photoshop using royalty-free photos. In later years, the river exit from Prince's Half-Tide Dock was sealed, and a new link bridge has been created, providing a continuous walking route from the pierhead past the new terminal and currently as far as Jessie Hartley Way. So let's look back at the old Isle of Man ferry terminal next to the Liver building. Here's the ferry as it was arriving on the 16th of July 2021. The catamaran Manannan was built in Tasmania in 1998 and operated in Australia and New Zealand. Then she was converted for use with the US Navy and served as a military vessel. She was bought and again converted for the Isle of Man to Liverpool route and entered service on the 22nd of May 2009. Here's the previous Seacat ferry seen from New Brighton in 2000. The old ferry terminal was located on the pierhead, convenient for foot passengers but for vehicle traffic not the best location, and it was right in front of the cruise liner terminal. The new Isle of Man ferry terminal opened on Tuesday the 25th of June 2024. I took the opportunity of photographing the old terminal in its final days of operation for posterity. The Grade 2 star engine room memorial is next to the access road and bridge. Welcome to the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company with the Legs of Man symbol, and there's the mast with its radar equipment and flags. Prior to sailing, vehicles lined up on the road next to the pierhead, supervised by staff. Media reports confirmed that the first sailing to use the new terminal was the 3 p.m. arrival from Douglas on Tuesday the 25th of June, so I assume that the last passengers to use the old terminal left on the 11:15 sailing on that day. So let's look again at the new link or bridge. The fence on the side closest to the river has images and names of Liverpool's historic docks. On the other side, we saw people working on it earlier, is a conventional waterside railing. The walking and cycling route goes round Alexandra Tower. It's actually a longer walk for passengers to get to and from the new Isle of Man ferry terminal compared to the old one, so maybe buses could be provided, like the ones I used to take between Lime Street Station and the old B+I ferryport. On the right is the site of the planned permanent cruise liner terminal. I've not seen any news about that for a while. To the left, under construction, is Patagonia Place. I've been tracking its construction. Let's see the stages so far. It will have 278 apartments and a rooftop restaurant. Architects, Faulkner Chester Hall. I'll keep tracking it as it rises to its full height of 95 metres or 351 feet. On Sunday the 30th of June 2024, there was a cruise liner on a visit to Liverpool, the Seven Seas Mariner, operated by Regent Seven Seas Cruises, built in Saint-Nazaire, northwest France in 2001. On the other side of the river is the Stena Embla, operated by Stena Line, built in Weihai, northeast China, and delivered to Stena in Weihai in December 2020. She operates the night service to Belfast. The Manannan will be departing shortly, so we'll return to watch. Let's look again around Prince's Half-Tide Dock. There are the old lock gates. They've left old machinery in place to remind us of the old docks. I'm enjoying seeing all the familiar buildings, old and more recent, from a new angle, including the ones reflected here in the windows of the new terminal. Over there is the site of the old B+I ferryport, now occupied by low-rise residential buildings. This is a great location, next to the river, looking out towards the sea, the Isle of Man, Ireland and beyond. I'll continue to enjoy sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the ships rolling in and out, and I don't consider it to be a waste of time. Let's watch the Manannan leaving the new ferry terminal for the 2-hour 45-minute journey to Douglas. I hope to travel on that route soon. So please like, subscribe, share with others and post a comment, respectful please. And if you'd like to support what I'm doing, you can go to buymeacoffee.com and make a donation. So vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in Liverpool.